What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Big Nerd Gaming Podcast. I'm your host. My name is Westen. We are here. We made it to the end of the year. That means it's time to rank stuff, which we just don't do enough on this podcast. But this is like the real thing, man. This is ranking our top 10 games of the year. The year 2025, a legendary year for video games. I'm excited about this. We have very special guests, someone I've been very excited to have on, someone I've talked to through text so many times, never talked to him. Change that today. Jordan, CognitiveClips on YouTube. One of my favorite YouTube channels out there. How's it going, Jordan?
Thanks, man. It's going great. I appreciate the intro there. Yeah, I think we may go way back to like the early days of Threads, man. I feel like we've been connected on socials for a long time, so it's good to be here. Good to actually see you face to face for once. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, solid year and a half. I've seen your face a couple times on the YouTube. One a surprise appearance that one time for your I think your video on recency bias. But beyond that,
correct.
Yeah, no, this is great. It's great. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that was the face reveal. Actually, I'd done the channel for like a year and a half before I ever showed my face.
Dude, you built up the tension. It's like you're kind of like what the sleep token. You know, that's you.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I know a little bit about them, but not like a whole lot. So.
Yeah. So they're like totally anonymous. Like they you know all these girls and you know some other people are probably you know very into them, but they never reveal their face, their identity, and that's basically you know. So I always say like I always tell my wife like one day they you know when they're on the down they're gonna reveal their faces. You know when they need like a little spike. You know, so that's you waited, you got your spike from you. So
it's all downhill from here. Let's go.
Yeah, you're screwed now. You have nothing else. You have no other cards to play. You just got to put out good content. But I have faith in you. Okay. Thank you. Jordan's on here because he is like me. He keeps up with times, which is important because you know this is all about current video games. Now on the blog. Readers may know I go hard with my ranks. I go my own individual ranks. I do my best to not... I don't want to overlap the pod and the blog. I do it with a couple things. But overall, I want to keep it its own thing because I don't want to just rehash the same stuff. So, rather than just us listing our top 10s, we're mixing it up. We are doing the... I guess I'll call it the kind of funny approach where you have a crew, you aggregate the top 10, and... you know, compile the points and go from there. And then ties stay in the same rank. So we have multiple games in multiple ranks in a lot of spots. Like I actually think we actually have like 20 games to talk about plus here instead of 10. So it's not much of a top 10. It's more like a top 23 or 24 or something, but that's okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
Makes you different from everybody else, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Only the best top 10s have 25 games, you know, only the best. But yeah, so basically every guest on the podcast, including Jordan today. So Andres from episode 1, we had Paul from the Final Fantasy episode, we had Michaela from the Game Awards episode, and we had Chike from the Overlook Games episode, then me, then Jordan. We all gave our top 10 games to Michaela, who put them together in a Excel sheet for me, whited out the names of the games so that I can be surprised too, and we're gonna go through it. So, yeah. So, it kind of funny. I think there's 11 people that rank. So, yeah. So, I think because there's only 6, we ended up with a lot of different games. So next year when I run this back, it'll be a full year of podcasts. So we'll have more guests. So this probably won't happen next time, but we're gonna have fun with it. We're gonna enjoy it.
Yeah.
We'll probably rip through some of the early games and then maybe focus more on the last 5 or so. So are you ready for this monumental undertaking, Jordan?
As I'll ever be, man. Let's do it. Rip the Band-Aid off.
All right, let's rip the Band-Aid off. We'll talk more about your YouTube page at the end, but CognitiveClips. Also, subscribe to this one as well, if you could. Whoever's watching this. That'd be cool.
While you're here.
I'm trying to get... there's this site called Lurk It that, like, my blog traffic's pretty good.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I should be on it. But you need 250 YouTube subscribers. Like, I can send them my blog traffic. They don't give a shit. Like, they want 250 YouTube subscribers and Twitch or whatever. So subscribe just out of pity. That's all I ask. Okay, thanks. All right. So, the number 10 game in Big Nerd Gaming, we have a 4-way tie.
Woo!
So all these games, looking at, I can see how many points they have. So they all have 6 points. So basically, if everyone's top 5, even if you were the only one that ranked it, made it on. So, and we have a lot of games. You know, a lot of people play different games. So let's do it. So the first of 4 games at number 10 is The Nightling.
Ooh, okay. That was Andres. Congratulations.
Yeah, yes, that was Andres. Well, you know, we'll go. I'll just list the games, then we'll decide which ones we want to talk about. Game number 2. Ooh, I expected this one to be higher. Shinobi: Art of Vengeance.
Wow, that's me.
Yeah, I know. Was it your number 5?
It was my number 5. Yep.
You were the only one to rank it. Wow, I thought Michaela would rank it. Wow. Okay. Dude, I'm shocked at this one. Game number 3 is Hollow Knight Silksong. I was the only one to rank it. I thought you would. I thought Chike would. I thought we talked about Hollow Knight for a second on the last episode. Wow. And number 4, Eric's Home, The Stolen Dream. That might have 2. That might have had Michaela and Andres. Well, I'll have to look at this later, but wow, those are some heavy hitters, man.
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting start to this.
Jesus Christ. So the Nightling number 10, yeah, that was Andres. Wasn't my fave, but he loves it. It has like a PS1 appeal. There's some cool platforming. If open world, it's pleasant at times.
Yeah, I played the demo and I really liked the demo, but I never got around to the full release because, as you kind of mentioned, this has been a banger year. So, I mean, how can you keep up with every single one? You know, so
we all miss games. This could be our job, and I would miss games this year. Like that's how I feel about it. All right, this one we got to have you talk about because I know this has been one you hyped hard on your YouTube page. Shinobi: Art of Vengeance. Somehow I know Michaela liked a lot. I mean, it was an honorable mention for me in my ranks, but so I didn't rank it. But yeah, I didn't expect. I expected it to be higher. What do you want to say about Shinobi?
Man, it's one of those games where, you know, after you sit with it for a day or two, and you're like, I got to think. I was like, why? Like, I don't always put numbers to things, but I was trying to think of, okay, it's like what would I, maybe 9.5. Then I was thinking even more, and I was like, what's keeping it from being a 10? And I couldn't really think of any good reasons why. Like, there's no like glaring flaws that I saw. The performance was excellent. The art style, the art design for like the levels and all that. The level design itself, the way that they kind of did, like as you mentioned in your post, like compartmentalized Metroidvania style of like each level having to kind of go back and replay with your new abilities to find all the secrets if you want to. All that is just, and the combat was phenomenal to me. So I absolutely adore my time with it. I did 100% all the levels. I think for all the Steam achievements, you have to go back and do some like the arcade mode stuff that unlocks after you roll credits, and I haven't done that quite yet. But I mean, I adored that game. The YouTube video that he just mentioned is don't sleep on Shinobi: Art of Vengeance, like, because I feel like it got really good reviews and all that, but I didn't hear enough people talking about it, so I felt like I needed to throw something together for that, correct that mistake,
It's apparently you didn't do a good enough job because you're only one to
apparently not, man.
No, it did get a Game Awards nomination too, so which was well deserved. It's a very well-rounded game. Like, kind of like you're saying, it doesn't have any like glaring flaws. If I were to criticize it for anything, I thought most of the boss fights were pretty underwhelming.
Really?
There's a couple where
cool.
they were bad. It was just like there was a couple where I was just like juggling. I was like a boss, and I'm like juggling them around for a while, which was kind of cool. But it was like kind of wild how many I beat like first attempt.
Yeah.
And there was, I don't. We'll talk about Hollow Knight in a sec, but I don't like some of these games where you have really long animations you can't cancel out of. So I got caught. That would annoy me sometimes. But yeah, I mean it's a really solid game. Like it has it's just competent at everything. And I like the segmented Metroidvania. I know it's like kind of a hit or miss thing for people, but I didn't 100% it. But like, I feel like it's one of the least overwhelming Metroidvanias to 100% because you're not just looking at this giant map. Like you can mess around. You can go, okay, I'm going to go tackle this one. I'm going to tackle this one, and it allowed them to do more interesting things with the levels. Like there's like a runaway train level. There's a level inside of a monster. Yeah, like it's. I guess you could find a way to do that within a Metroid, but I mean, no one really does that because it's hard to pull off with one big interconnected map. So it kind of let them do set piece stuff and be more creative. So
the only thing I would like knock it on if I really had to was like maybe the plot's a little thin, but I mean, it's a ninja revenge story. I don't really need a deep compelling plot. I just want to go cut some people. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no,
that's not why I come here.
It's completely unnecessary. I will say there was one moment where I thought the plot was going to be kind of cool for a sec when they like. I don't want to spoil it, but they didn't really do as much with it after. But there was one moment I was like, oh, that's wild. Like that's a direction I didn't expect. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it does have a couple of those where it's like, oh, this is like they made me more interested in it than I even needed to be, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like, because again, I dabbled in some Shinobis back in the day, like as a kid, and I couldn't tell you the first thing about what happened. I was like, oh, I'm a ninja, and I'm throwing ninja stars and kicking people. Like, cool, that's all I need. So the fact that they added some more was a welcome little bonus.
I'm not a fighting game guy, so I don't usually I'm not a big oh, I got to chain all these combos together. But yeah, they make it so like, do the jump kick into the spin and then start doing some other crazy stuff. Like,
it's so satisfying when you do it.
Put some stuff together. Some of the tougher, I also didn't love some of the platforming. I thought there were some awkward moments, like especially like if you jumped into a corner of a wall, there was things that just didn't quite work the way that I thought they should. But yeah, I mean, great game. Hollow Knight Silksong being on here shocked me. You did a video on it where you said it was a 10 out of 10 game, but not a good Metroidvania, which I think is totally fair. But you did say it was a 10 out of 10 game, so I kind of thought you might have it in your ranks, especially as a fellow Metroidvania guy. But yeah, I mean,
that was more for calling it a 10 out of 10 was more for the thumbnail than it was for my actual opinion on it. to be quite honest, we're trying to.
Damn it, Jordan.
Let's just pull the curtain back a little bit, guys. We guys, gals, and bees. We got to clickbait a little bit to get some traction in our stuff. Fair. It's okay. It's all right.
Fair. Fair. I feel deceived. No, and I feel hurt.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, Weston. Like,
oh my god.
In that video, I actually bring up Shinobi Art of Vengeance because, like, what Silksong does with the Metroidvania stuff, like Hollow Knight, I loved Hollow Knight. I really did. I actually rolled credits on that one. And as you can probably tell, if you're looking at the video version, I like Metroid things, Metroidvanias. And what Hollow Knight Silksong does poorly that I think Shinobi Art of Vengeance did really, really well was actually games. Cluing people into what's optional and what's not. And because every single hallway in Silksong is the new hardest thing you've done in that game yet, no matter if it leads to like a little trinket or it leads to the next area. You know what I mean? Like, and whereas in a game like Shinobi, they actually clue you in. You just look at the map and it's like, oh, this area is kind of shaded purple. I don't need to be here if I don't want to be. So I can just, instead of bash my head against the wall, I can double back and do something else instead. But with Hollow Knight Silksong, I didn't know. I didn't know if I was, bashing my head against the wall because I needed to or because there was just like something optional at the end of it that I wasn't even going to use anyway. And I thought that was really frustrating. I got like probably a couple hours into Act 2 before I kind of hit a wall and was just like, I can't do this anymore. Like, again, like a lot of the other stuff, like the art design is again beautiful, just like it was in the first game. I like, the combat is fun to an extent, but the way that they just made things harder just for the sake of it being harder, and what I just mentioned about the getting lost is a given in some of those games, but the way that they make it miserable to get lost is not very fun for me. So that's where I landed.
Yeah, no, there was many moments where I didn't like the game, but man, I just think the core stuff is so good, like the platforming. I mean, the combat's just so responsive and slick, and man, the boss fights are just so well designed. Like, they're surprisingly fair. The boss fights, like I would say that sometimes the level design doesn't feel fair, but outside of the wave fights, like the actual bosses, I always thought it was like, okay, this is hard, but I see the pattern. You know, I can see it, and usually after a few, I'd start making progress and doing better. There's a general flow to the combat that just feels so real, like the way you can push forward and they can kind of push back and you can counterattack. It's just like you don't have all these enemies that just kind of sit still. Sometimes that's annoying too with flying enemies and there's spikes and you're like, what the hell,
Right.
man? Like you're running away. I can't even chase you. Like I have to wait for you to come back. But yeah, and I will, and yeah, you can spend time lost and looking around and you can't find anything, or you find something and it's not that helpful for you. Yeah, I don't know why they hate Metroidvania maps. You know, like making it a feature to equip so you can see yourself on the map. Like, what the hell? I don't like that stuff, but I mean, the Big Nerd Gaming Awards coming soon. It's my number one for combat, number one for platforming. Like, just the feel of it is just incredible. So,
Ooh, sneak peek. I like that.
yeah, a little sneak peek there. So, Eric's Home we've talked about on the pod before. So, I mean, I won't talk tons about it. Did you play that one?
I did not. No, I heard people talking about it. Very good things, but I never checked it out myself.
Lovely stealth game. Well, puzzle game that kind of masquerades as a stealth game. Fun story, fun characters, like great performances. I mean, it's incredibly polished. Like it feels like, I don't know, some really polished like early PS3 game. Like just really well done. So, if you like the idea of stealth and puzzle, like definitely check that one out. Very pleasant game.
Cool.
All right. Let's move on to number 9, where we have another 4-way tie. All right. First game is The Drifter, a Big Nerd Gaming honorable mention. I'm going to guess that one was Chike. Putting that in. These all have 7 points. So, yeah, I mean,
That is a very Chike pick.
Yeah, he sold me on that game.
Okay.
We have Mario Kart World. Was that on yours?
Actually, no.
Oh, wow. Maybe Michaela, maybe Paul. Oh, I didn't expect this one to be so low. Dispatch is at number 9. I thought that would be higher. It was like it was my number 4. So I think that means, yeah, I might have been the only one. And we have Absalom. So, the Drifter, we talked about it last week on this pod, or last month. So, great point and click game. Very thrilling, very cinematic. I mean, it still has some of the frustrations with point and click, with like backtracking and some occasionally annoying puzzle design, but like the story is so gripping. Great voice acting, great production values, like actually some kind of cinematic direction, great art style. Really solid game. Mario Kart World. I played Mario Kart World for like half an hour when I had my brother Switch 2 for a couple weeks. Do you have anything to add on Mario Kart World?
I actually like it a lot more than a lot of the internet seems to, at least. Obviously, it got really good reviews. Like, it's not like it's a hot take to like the game, but I see the critiques as far as wishing that it stuck to the traditional 3-lap design, but it's a lot of fun, man. It's one of those ones where you kind of you have some enjoyment with it at first, and you kind of put it to the side, forget about it. But then somebody, comes around and wants to play it or something, and you pick it, you're like, oh, why did I put this down? This is so much fun. Like every time you pick it up, or at least every time I pick it up, I can have a lot of fun with it for like another hour or 2 hours. Over on Drop and Drop Out, we had our first little, almost like we call it like an invitational, where there's a whole bunch of other content creator folks that are kind of in our little world that all hopped on, and we all played together. Had almost like a little unofficial tournament to just kick back and have fun with some of our content creator friends, and that was a blast. That was like a couple hours of just pure fun. And then again, I put it down after that 2 weeks ago and haven't touched it since. But man, it's there when you want to have fun. You know what I mean? So like, it's in that weird little bubble between like you don't want to play it all the time, but when you do, you love it. So that's where I am with it. But I think it ended up on like my number 11 or something like that. Like it was pretty sure. Yeah, I think it was my number 11.
Dispatch. I'm shocked I'm the only one because I think most of my friends played this. Didn't you? Did you? I know your podcast, Drop In, Drop Out, was doing like episode by episode reactions, which was cool. I wanted to check those out, but didn't get a chance. Did you play it?
I did not. I was not one of the ones that got to check it out. I could have, obviously. I have a job. I could have bought it myself and played it, but I have not yet. But I've heard so many good things about it that it's inevitable, but I just haven't got around to it. So.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you ever like the old Telltale games, it's a no brainer. I
never played those actually.
Oh man. Well, if Wolf Among Us 2 comes out, I'd highly recommend that one before it comes out, the original.
When was that announced again?
Yeah, I mean, look, man, we're not giving up.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Dispatch is awesome. I mean, I've written about it a couple times on the blog. Everything about it's good. Everything about that game is good. Like the writing. There's a couple elements of the dispatching that can get annoying, but... Man, it's just that game just had I had a smile on my face, man. Every episode, I'd be done, and I'd have a smile on my face, and then the next week, I'd be like, all right, I can't wait for next week, man. I loved playing it up with the episodic element too. So,
that's awesome.
That was great. Did you play Absalom?
I did not. I feel bad saying this, but it was one of those situations where I had some funds, and I was looking, and I was like, well, I could pay 20 for Absalom, or I could pay 25 for Hades 2. One of those is the highest rated game of the year. So
yeah. I touched it for half an hour. I don't know, man. The beat 'em up movement always throws me off. Like, it never feels great to me. Like, just kind of the awkward, you're facing one way, you move slow. There's a counter. I'm sure if I played it more, I'd like it more. It's a cool concept, but I wasn't loving it. And I just had, by the time I picked it up, it was late in the year, and I had so much that I was trying to I was doing that thing this past month where I'm just picking up games for 30 minutes, hour, and if they didn't grip me, I'm moving on to the next one because I'm trying to figure out what can make my top 10. All right, so next up, we got the number 8s. There are 5 of them. 5 number 8s. So actually, we had a snafu in between numbers here, and it turned out Silksong was supposed to be at number 8. And not number 10. I guess that's a little better. So
yeah.
Woohoo.
Good for them.
Plot twist. All right. Also at number 8, we have Rematch. That was me. That was literally only me, for sure. We have Promise Mascot Agency. That was probably Andres.
That's an Andres pick for sure.
We have Metroid Prime 4. I can't imagine who that was.
Who's that? Who would do that?
I don't know. And we have Ender Magnolia. That's Michaela, for sure. All right. So we talked about Silksong. Actually, number 8. Thank God. That's a little better. So Chike must have had it in around there. Rematch. I've talked about on the pod before. I just think it's an incredible multiplayer game. I don't usually like sports games. Even though I like sports, I don't usually like multiplayer games. But that game just sucked me in with its blend of realistic yet arcadey physics and excellent teamwork mechanics. So big fan of that. Promise Mascot Agency, very solid game, very fun game. Open world, silly. It's got good stuff going on. Jordan, what do you want to say about Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah, I love this game. It definitely there's critiques to have. It's not living up to the heights of Prime 1, but I don't think anything ever really can. It's one of the highest rated games of all time, so what do you expect? But even with the criticisms that I have about it, it was still an absolute blast. I played through it kind of back to back, did one run on normal, then you unlock hard mode, did a hard mode run, and then I've still dabbled in a third file to either stream on after the release or to get footage for video essays or whatever else, and it's I keep okay, well, I'm just gonna play for a little bit and get this. I'm like, oh wait, actually no, I love being in this world, man. I just love the series, the sub series, everything with Metroid. I've always been a fan of ever since I was a kid. So, yeah, there's hiccups. Yeah, there's some weirdness here and there with clearly what was Retro Studios doing the best with what they were given from what had been started from the other studio and then given to them, and then there was somebody recently that was like, I can't remember who it was. I think it was somebody from Nintendo that was essentially saying like, it was almost divorced from the changing of the times, because after a certain point they couldn't risk starting development all the way over for a second time to get it out at the door. But even before I knew all that, it was still a fun time. Again, even with its flaws, I still land in probably again, I don't always give numbers to things, but if I had to, like a solid 8.5, man. It's a really fun time. And I recommend playing it. Like, even if you haven't played the first 3 games, like, this is a brand new story arc too, so it's easy to just kind of jump into and play. So probably easily the best looking Nintendo game ever, like, as far as fidelity and all that.
I was so close. I was so close to picking it up, and then I couldn't because I was trying to download it, and my OG Switch 1 doesn't have enough memory. So I was like, I don't have a memory card for it. So I was going to buy it physical, but then I ended up buying Octopath Zero. And yeah, I saw some of the mixed stuff online. I was like, it's probably not going to be something that breaks my top 10. But I do want to try the series again one day. I like briefly tried Metroid Prime, and I was just like not feeling the combat at all, and it kind of turned me off. But I do like Metroidvanias overall, so
yeah,
I got to get to it. For you.
The combat in this one, the obviously the setup of the combat is very similar, but I feel like this one is more fast paced with the combat than Prime 1 was. So if like the pacing was an issue, this might still be better for you. But go to some of your local stores may have a demo on hand, because my local Best Buy did. So,
wow, interesting. That sounds like a terrible game to demo. It's like a bunch
it's just like, it's literally the intro, basically, like the one that they had the Nintendo Treehouse for, where it's literally just the opening of Samus's gunship coming down, and then she blasts her way through a base or whatever. Like it's like a 20-minute demo.
Oh, there's an action sequence. Okay, that's a little.
Oh yeah.
It's like, man,
like it culminates in
lost in the world. Yeah.
I just wasted 20 minutes getting lost.
Ender, the Hollow Knight Silk Song demo. Just you fall into the pit. I fell back into the pit. The demo's over.
Oh yeah, okay. This is a great time.
Ender, did you play Ender Magnolia this year as a Metroidvania guy?
I did not. I had my eye on it though, because of being a Metroidvania guy and seeing the good reviews for it. I feel like I picked up the first game as maybe like PlayStation Plus or something. Like it was on some free service at some point, and I got like 10 minutes in and I just wasn't vibing with it for some reason. I can't even tell you why anymore. But yeah, I never got around to this one either.
Do you not like anime art styles? Is it the anime?
It's not the anime. I mean, I like it. I like some anime stuff, but just I don't know. There's something that just didn't click right away with me, and you know how it is. Again, with so many games to play, it's like if it doesn't click, then why stick?
I fell off. That's good. That's really good. I'm into that. I actually fell off Ender Lilies or Ender Quietus, whatever it's called, whatever the first game is. I didn't care for it, so I wasn't really gonna get this one. But there was so much hype, I got it. I ended up liking it. There's a couple weird things I don't like, but like we talked about the Metroidvania map in Shinobi, like this one is the best Metroidvania map. Like it's interconnected.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, like if you can fully complete an area, it like changes the color of that section of the map, so it's like pretty. Oh yeah,
I love a color coding, man.
Oh man, this guy's about to buy it now, man. That's
I gotta go. See ya.
Yeah, the combat's pretty fun. Platforming's okay. Like it's got a couple weird things, like some of the balancing. I mean, it is accessible, so you can like adjust things, but on the default settings, you can die in 2 to 3 hits. You keep getting more HP, then the enemies just hit harder. It doesn't really change the whole game. I never changed it because it wasn't that hard, so I didn't want to kill the balancing, but it was just odd. But there's some fun. Like there's one. They really have the map designed well. You end up with an ability where you can just go horizontally, and like it doesn't stop you until you hit a wall. So there was sections where you literally fly across the whole map to get to a secret spot or whatever. It's got some cool design. So like as a Metroidvania, it was one of my favorites in terms of design this year. So yeah, I think you would like it. Yeah. I think as a Metroidvania guy, you should get it because we have a good Metroidvania coming in January that I'm pretty excited about. So you gotta get it in before that comes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, number 7. We only have 4 number 7s now. All right, and then
That's it.
And then we have 2 number 6s, and then 1 through 5. It's all just that. So thank God, thank God. But number 7s, we have Wanderstop, Sea of Stars, Throes of the Watchmaker. Cool. DLC. Do we want to wade into this debate? Final Fantasy Tactics, the Evilus Chronicles.
That's a remake. We're going into this debate.
Yeah, what is it? Remaster, remake? What is this? This list is going off the rails, man. Citizen Sleeper 2 is the last one, which I know you've played. So, Wanderstop. It fell off my top 10 at the last second, the very last second, unfortunately, but a very lovely game. That was probably Andres and Michaela, but very pleasant, cozy game, fun mechanics without being overwhelming, and it's got great writing, great story. One of the best characters this year. Props to my boy Boro. I played Expedition 33. I played Death Stranding 2. I've played all these character-heavy games, and Big Nerd Gaming Awards sneak peek. Boro still sits at number 3 for best character, man. That guy's a dog. He's a dog. So Sea of Stars, I gotta assume you played this. I don't. Did you rank it?
Yeah, it was my. I put it at number 9.
Okay, so then Michaela probably had it as well. So
yeah, it was a good time. It added some more context to some of the characters and stuff that was really fun to play through. I liked how it connected to the main story too. It almost like recontextualized one of the characters and like his little catchphrase and stuff that he had throughout the entire main story, and it was very cute, very well done, I thought. I didn't put it super duper high, and I also had that same debate of like, do I put DLCs on this or do I not? But it was pretty hefty, so if it's a hefty DLC, then I don't mind putting it on there. But it was a fun time. I enjoyed it.
I'm totally fine with DLC personally, because I feel like DLC is always at an inherent disadvantage, at least for me. Like, it's got to be really freaking good DLC for me to rank it, because like there's always an awkwardness, which I know this one, if I read it, restarts you, right? So that was appealing to me, that you're not like jumping in the middle or whatever. So yeah, so that's legit. I guess I'll accept it. Final Fantasy Tactics,
Thanks.
I mean, considered one of the greatest games of all time, I guess. I'm guessing that was probably Paul, who did not want to do these ranks, but thank you, Paul, for doing them. Citizen Sleeper
Paul.
2. Did you rank Citizen Sleeper 2?
It is my number 2.
Wow. Oh, so this...
Yeah.
We are at 9. So this was just you. Only you ranked it. It was an honorable mention for me. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought Chike might. But yeah, no, just you. Well, good for you for getting it up here.
Chike and Andres and you being like the indie game trio that keep up with it.
We're failing.
No, this is like one of the best, to me, narratives that I've come across. Like I absolutely adored these characters, and I hadn't even played the first one before I played this one. But I mean, it was, for anyone who doesn't know, you can call it point and click if you want to. It's technically slightly different than that, but dice mechanics as far as determining what you're able to do throughout the day and how successful those adventures may be. But the writing is literally, it might be the best writing in video games that I've ever come across in 35 years. I was hooked from the opening paragraph. It's not even voiced. It's literally just text on a screen with very beautiful ambient music in the background. I was like, what is this? Like, most profound statement I've ever read in my life, and it's like about a wall on a spaceship. Like, where does Gareth Damian Martin get off writing things like this?
It's a lovely game. The art's great too. I love the character
love the
so
art
much. Hey, you should play the first one. I mean, it's a much smaller scale.
I have now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Cool.
I just meant that when I first played 2, I hadn't played 1 yet, but I immediately went and grabbed it and played it. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was, I think, the first game I played this year. And yeah, it made my honorable mentions. I really enjoyed it. It's very well written. My biggest compliment to this game is always that, like, there's a couple new mechanics that I don't know. I don't think they explained them that well, and my run was screwed up, and you could keep going through a screwed up run. I know you talked about that in your video, but it was just going to be way too annoying. So I restarted my game, and
Gotcha.
I played, and I hate doing that. Like Eric's all like I lost like an hour because it was supposed to be like the demo carries over. So I lost like, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes to an hour because of that. I had to restart it, and I was in pain, you know. But I restarted this and actually was like, cool. Like I'm going to do it better this time, and you know, it's a lot of reading, a lot of stuff. So it's like rereading it. You kind of like pick up on more things. So very, very cool game. If you like narrative games, I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that rings a bell. I remember that now that you mentioned that you. Because I remember you writing about that because you had like at least one post, maybe even two, where you're like, actually, I had to start it over and, you know, working your way through that. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's not something I want to do, but I did it.
I completely understand. Time is short.
All right. Two games at number 6. We have Donkey Kong Bonanza. I did expect to see that game actually lower than I expected on it. I thought it'd be top 5. This is 11 points. So at least 2 people. At this point, every game has at least 2 votes. Where was it for you?
Donkey Kong Bonanza was, I think it was on number 6. Yes, number 6.
Okay.
Metro Prime kicked it out of the top 5. Sorry.
And we have, unfortunately, Blueprints. I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming, but it's okay.
I'm going to shock you, maybe. I might shock you. Blueprints is up here because it's also on my top 10. It actually...
What? You were on my side! You were supposed to be a hater!
Dude.
God damn it!
Sneak peek of the video that I'm working on that I posted about just before we went live here. It kind of comes down to design language, and even if you understand the design language at play, that doesn't mean you're going to actually still like it. But the first time I tried Blueprints, I was not really engaging with what the game was asking and what it was expecting me to be doing. I was just zeroed in on the one, you know, room 46, and like everything else was just annoying and in my way. And I also never succeeded. So I was like, okay, this is stupid. Like, why would I play this? So it was literally like my number 20, I think, in my rankings. And then I don't have Game Pass anymore because Microsoft is being stupid on multiple fronts. But I been just like buying it on sale recently, and within like a 72-hour like real world period, not like in-game time, but like in like a 72-hour period in real life, I started a brand new run, like brand new file or whatever, and got to room 46, hit credits, and I was like, I understand it now. Like I actually get it now that I'm engaging with the mechanics that they're expecting me to. Now at this point, it's I'm like several real life hours past that point, and now I am hitting that wall again of like, okay, now I don't understand why I need to be doing anything else anymore. But like, it was quite a ride there for a bit, so I finally understand it. But again, that doesn't mean that everyone's gonna like it just because you understand what they want you to do, and like, you know, actually going through and writing notes down or taking more screenshots and going back to your old clues and stuff. But I did that, and it made my experience much more enjoyable, and it made me appreciate it more. So that's my 2 cents.
Cool, I guess. Donkey Kong Bonanza. I mean, look, I've said my piece on Blueprints. I get it,
Yeah.
but it's not for me. I actually don't like a lot of the puzzle design, honestly. Like, I don't like abstract puzzles. I don't like... I like rules, you know. I like clearly defined rules, and I feel like the rules change all the time in Blueprints depending on what you're doing. And yeah, that doesn't appeal to me. Donkey Kong Bonanza. I know you were. Well, where'd you put this one? You said.
So Bonanza was my number 6, which is higher than Blueprints. Blueprints is number 7 for me. Bonanza is just pure joy distilled into a little cartridge, man. Like, did you play it?
Yeah, I beat it. Yep, I borrowed my brother's Switch 2 for 2. I bought him the game and played through. I thought the core mechanics were incredible. So that
the
was
core
like, just,
mechanics.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah. It's very like just the art of destruction is incredible, right? Like just being able to just boom, just gonna start destroying this area. I'm gonna throw this thing. pretty cool. I just didn't think they did enough interesting things with it, like with the puzzle design, the combat, boss fights. Like, I didn't feel like the stuff around it was as good as I wanted, but the core stuff was really well designed. So it was fun to play around with. I think if I wasn't under the time gun and could have just like picked it up for an hour every 2-3 days, I think I would have liked it more rather than trying to beat it all within 2 weeks. But yeah, it's a very solid game.
That's a fair assessment, honestly.
Let's go on to number 5. So finally, we are to the top 5. All these games are standalone, thank God. So no more ties. We're done. Yeah. The top 5 is just so everything here got a bunch of votes, or at least probably 2 or 3, I would guess. All right, number 5, feeling the tension now, is Trails in the Sky First Chapter.
Wow, okay.
12 points. I know Paul was very into it, and I think Michaela was very into it. So I'm guessing you didn't play this one.
I got it for Christmas, so I'm like 3 or 4 hours in, and I'm liking it a lot so far. But yeah, I obviously didn't get anywhere near enough to rank it. So.
Yeah, I played the demo, and I was like, it's amazing. Like this developer is so. I really respect them because it's like a small developer. They got like just great art style, great music. I mean, this game, I feel like it looks even better than Daybreak. So, although I know Daybreak came out, I think actually in Japan several years before, but just like the music's great, the art's great, the combat system's like inventive. Like before Metaphor, this was the game doing like the kind of the action and turn-based mix, and they actually have some nice strategy to the turn-based. So I respect a lot of what they're doing. It just playing through the demo, I could tell I was going to have the same problems I had with Daybreak, which was just like the general story pacing, just being molasses. A little too much. With everything I have going on, it's just too much. But I mean,
I said I'm like 3 or 4 hours in. I'm not out of the prologue yet.
Yeah, it's and Daybreak was the same way. And the worst part about Daybreak is every time I thought it was about to get really cooking, it would just go right back to like 0 for a while. And I'm sure like once you get to the end, it's amazing, but it was too much. So, gotcha. But yeah, I get why people like that. All right, number 4 is Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D. What? 13 points.
I didn't know it had legs like that. Okay.
I mean, look, 13 points. Like the thing is, 6 people ranking this. This got more chaotic than I expected. A lot more chaotic than I expected. But I think it was very easy to have a couple people, have a lot of power because it's only 13 points. Like it could have just been 2 people, could have been 3. I don't know. Yeah, I tried DQ3 and the remake last year, and I was like, man, I'm just not into this at all. So I had no interest in trying this. But yeah, I guess we don't have much to say
on my list. I didn't even try this one.
Yeah.
So.
It's so old school. Like it's so old school. And I mean, well, at least 3 was, right? So I gotta assume this is kind of similar where it's just like, yeah, I get why JRPGs were like this at the time, but like I like more interesting battles. Like I like a real story. Like people will hype up the story of like 3. I'm like, it's not there really that much. Like it's not that big of a deal. It's a fucking NES game, man. It wasn't that good. Yeah. Whatever. It's here. We have played too many JRPG sickos after the fucking show this year, so this is what we get. All right. Number 3. Okay, so I think I know how the final 3 is going to play out.
Okay.
But I won't say anything. But I have a vibe. I have a feeling. Number 3 is... Oh, I forgot about this game. Death Stranding 2 at number 3. 14 points. That I put it at 7. I think it was Andre's number 1. That might be all it took. That's all it takes.
Might be, yeah. And I haven't touched those games at all, so that wouldn't be. But yeah, what'd you love about it?
It's so funny because I could spend so long just shitting on that game because there's a lot of decisions that I didn't agree with. Like they took away the Did you play the first game?
No.
So there's like a friction in the first game that can be frustrating, but once you break through, maybe like kind of like Brew Prince. Once you break through, you kind of see the beauty in it, and it actually you realize this friction is really enhancing the experience. Like it's making it a lot better. And they really take away a lot of the friction in this game, and it's just like the thing that was awesome about Death Stranding was that every step, like literally, because it's a walking game, right? Like every step in that game felt earned, literally. And all of a sudden, this game puts you in a supercharged truck at all times, and it's just like, okay. So I had to make the game harder on myself, right? Oh. I stopped using the truck whenever possible. I walked. I was trying to like recreate the first game, and the story is pacing wise not always the best, but man, when it cooks, it's incredible. Like the last hour, 2 hours of that game is one of the best. Like for that long of a conclusion, like there's better endings, like even from this year, but man, it's just like. Just straight hour to 2 hours of your mind just being blown time after time again. It was incredible, man. So it really touches on some deep themes, like I talked about on the blog, but closest I've gotten to crying from a video game like ever. And it didn't quite break me there, but I feel like it might have unlocked something. I mean, where maybe the next one will. But
there you go.
It was incredible. Like as a parent, like it really touched on things that I think about with parenting. Oh, yeah. Just a beautiful moment, man. It has some amazing stuff. So, and I mean, the core gameplay is still fun. Like, it's still got cool stuff. It is cool to be able to like more easily do stealth and action now, but it's not quite what I was going for in some ways. But yeah, I still love. I mean, the highs are just the highest that you can imagine. I think it was Andre's #1 this year, so that's
it was. Yeah, I remember his article came out. So
yeah,
very cool.
All right, top 2. My guess is Hades 2. So I was actually thinking Yotai would be 3. I kind of forgot about Death Stranding too. So my guess is Hades 2 and Expedition 33.
Those are good guesses.
We'll see the order. Number 2 is Hades 2. With dude, this is insane. So number 10 had 6 points, like 7. Even number 3 has 14 points or whatever. This has 41. Hades 2 has 41. That's a crazy gap, man. Like, there are 2 games that everyone coalesced around. Everything else, fuck everything else. Like, it's just a total shit show. But this, we agreed on this. So, yeah, you obviously played this one. So,
yeah, it was my number 4. It was my number 2. It was one of those things where like I was playing it and really loving it. I played the first game quite a bit. I completed at least one run in the first game. Didn't drop in early access for this one. Didn't even pick it up at release. But I think I was like, I forget what I just wrapped up, but I was waiting for Metro Prime 4 to come out. So I was like, I want to play something else, and I really want to play Hades 2 at some point. So might as well just pick it up now. And really, really loved it. And like the more I played, the more I loved it. And then there was something that I won't spoil anything because there are things to spoil in this game, which is a weird thing to say about Hades. But yeah, I got to a certain point and I was like, right? This is...
Or roguelikes in general. Like,
right, yeah.
Something to spoil.
But I got to a certain point, I was like, this is absolutely insane in the best way possible, and it's top 5. It has to be top 5 now. So like after that, so it knocked Shinobi down a notch, even before Metroid came around. So yeah, I adore this game. I kind of put it aside for the past few weeks, but I do want to go back to it and still explore around some more because there's a lot more for me to do still.
Yeah, I really should, but man, it's just I've been so laser focused on getting everything I can get in for this year that I haven't gone back. And after like 40, 50 hours, it's usually good for a break. But yeah, I probably should pick it up again. But man, I call it the best roguelike of all time. Like it's just from a gameplay perspective. Like I didn't. It's still an amazing story for a roguelike. It just didn't click with me the same way that Hades 1 did. But when you compare it to everything else, like just all the dialogue, all the interesting conversations, the relationships, the characters, there's just so much amazing stuff, especially for this genre in there. But
everyone's hot.
Everyone's hot, dude, and they're in a hot tub. They are in the hot tub, dude. But yeah, the gameplay, man, it's just like they took the first game and then they just like, oh, each weapon now has 2 additional moves. Also, every run, you can very easily make your build around any individual move within these 6 unique weapons. Every run feels so different. Like,
Yeah.
it's so rare that I did a run and I was like, oh, I'm running back this run. I was just doing something different almost every run. And then there's 2 different types of runs you can do. So you get bored with one run, you mix it up. You get bored with this weapon. I mean, I was mixing up my weapon almost every time. Like, and just it never feels, you never feel overpowered. Even like late, some of the early levels you can get through decently easily, but you never feel so overpowered. But it has tons of upgrades, right? But they're really interesting. They're not just like, oh, your attack's higher. It's, oh, I can switch my items in between levels now. And then you start, you're like, that's kind of cool. Then you start playing with it and you're like, oh, this is like a real game changer. I can start with gold. Now I can switch to this. Now I can switch. This is gonna be hard.
I had like a whole sequence down pat by the time I put it down for a bit. I was like, yeah, I start with this and I go to this and I go to the lake.
And then you can level those up. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna use this because I want to level it up and see. You know what I mean? It's like you have so many different things you can do, but it just never gets old. And I so rarely, like in roguelikes, man. I mean, what? Your average roguelike, there's probably 50% of runs where I'm like, okay, I'm good with this run ending. This run's going nowhere. It sucks. Which is fine. It's part of the appeal of the genre. But somehow every run, something cool would happen. Like, I'd finish a run and I'd be like, oh, man, I'm going to miss that build. And then within 3 minutes of my next run, I'm back in, man. I'm loving this run. Let's go.
Yeah.
Just
that's something that Hades
designed.
2 does so well. And honestly, it's not on. It's I would call it an honorable mention for myself. Not that it was like, just missed top 10, but also just a really fun roguelike was Lost in Random, The Eternal Die. And for both of these games, you can, even if it's like a quote unquote failed run, you can, in Lost in Random, you can still find little like lore drops or whatever, like in the middle of your run. And in Hades 2, like there's a lot of lore drops that happen like in between runs where like, yeah, you failed to take down Kronos or whatever, but before you even start your next run, there's like a flashback scene or like, oh, like you've done enough runs to where like something gets triggered within the game, and so like this like event is happening, and like so it just makes it feel like there's still a lot of forward momentum and forward progression, even if you're not reaching the goal that you're set out to do, so to speak. So that really helps it keep engaged, and like you mentioned, all the characters are just incredible. The dialogue, the music, the gameplay, it's just firing on all cylinders. I mean, Supergiant is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a great call out. In between every run, you just never know what's going to be back. Like at Tartarus, you're just like, what's going to be there this time? It's totally different each time. And I forget the name of the character that shows up that you fight, but it's like every time I fought her, I was like, I gotta win because I fucking hate going back after losing to her. Like,
Eris.
Yeah,
Eris?
it's so good every time. Yeah,
AKA Harley Quinn.
Yeah, right. Yeah, just gameplay wise, you just can't get better. And I think Hades 1 was better story wise personally, but once again, within the roguelike genre, you still can't ask for much more story wise. So
Yeah.
What a game. Like, very well deserved. I mean, the fact that it sucks so many people into voting for it. This group of people that clearly all had different games they liked this year, right? Like, like I think up to number 4 or 3 or whatever, it's all games that like maybe 2 of the 6 of us voted for, and somehow number 2 got 41 points. So probably might have gotten everybody. Might have gotten 5 out of the 6. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But all right, number 1 is of course Expedition 33.
Of course.
50 points. So I know it's not on Andre's list, at least the one he posted on the website. So I assume it's not on there. So that would mean 5 first place votes, and then Andres doesn't have it. You've done some great content on this. One thing I want to say is I read my friend Sai's Sai Netrunner's Substack article on the ending, which he really went in depth on. I was just on a podcast, The Stage Select, and we ended up talking about the ending quite a bit, even though like the guys there weren't quite as high in the game. But it's so interesting because when you start really diving into this game, especially when you start talking about the ending, when people really dive into why they chose something, I always feel like I learned something like kind of deep about them, like what drives them in some ways. Like I've had some of the best video game conversations I've ever had this year talking about the ending, and that's
Yes.
I think the beauty of this game and the power of art, and it's just a beautiful thing. Like I love, and like even like what one of the most famous endings of all time is obviously The Last of Us, which is an interesting conversation, but it's a conversation that roughly is about one thing. I just feel like I've talked about existentialism in regards to this. I've talked about like, you know, what is life? Like how do you define life? I've talked about Sai. He talked about how he immerses himself in art like in a really deep way. Like he really puts himself in a headspace where he feels like he's there and does things to make that so. And that was part of why he chose the ending he chose. So it's just like, that's incredible. Like that's incredible art. I mean, there's a lot more we can talk about the game, but that's something that's been on my mind is how many interesting conversations I've had with people about the ending that have gone in very different directions.
Yeah, it was just so incredible start to finish for me. Like when it was first announced and shown off, like I guess, you know, early last year, I was like, what is this? I want to be there right now. What is it? The 30 Rock thing. I want to go to there. Like, please just let me play this game immediately. And I woke up at, I didn't, you know, I did take off work to play Metro Prime 4. I did not take off work for this game for Clear Obscure. But what I did do was wake myself up at like 3 a.m. so I could play it for like an hour or two before I needed to actually start my morning routine to get ready for work because I was so excited for it. And I just like, the prologue is so just like gut wrenching, even if you know what's coming, and the story is incredible. The characters, every single character in this game is phenomenal. Not only like their dialogue or whatever, but also like the performances that are in the game. I mean, I do think on one hand, I think it's kind of obnoxious that 3 different people were nominated in the same category for the Game Awards for their performance in the game. On the other hand, I could have put every single person in this game in that category and been okay with it because I loved every single person in this game and their performances and like what it has to say about grief and loss and like you said, existentialism and life and all this stuff. Just it's so beautifully done and so beautifully told. And again, it's like there is no real universally agreed upon correct anything for how this game winds up. And again, that's the beauty of it. And that's also a reflection of reality in a way as well, where just because you want things to be different doesn't mean they're going to be. I've played through it twice. There's going to be a third time at some point. And you mentioned, you know, we're different people. Everybody reacts to things differently. And I'm a pretty just emotional guy just in general, but I mean, not only did I cry multiple times in my first playthrough of this game, I cried multiple times in my second playthrough. Like I already knew what was coming, and it still just hits that hard with the performances, the music, everything about it, just firing on all cylinders. And I sat with it for a little bit after because, you know, recency bias, LOL. Please watch my videos. I didn't want to like share and subscribe. I didn't want to come right out of the gate after the credits and immediately say like, this is one of my favorite games of all time. Like I wanted to at least like give it some time and sit with it. But no, it is like 1000%. This is in my top 5 games, not only of the year, but ever of all time. So, nice. I don't know if I could say any more about this game than I already have this year on multiple different, my own channel, my podcast channel, with the Play Along podcast friends, when I talked about with Ben, and just everywhere, all across the internet, in every Discord and every DM chat, there's Expedition 33 all over the place for me. So
I'm very excited for a replay. I am holding out hope that they clean up some of the exploration elements of the game so that I can like find all the expedition journals without looking at guides and hating my life. Yeah. So that's what I'm holding out for my replay. But yeah, it's definitely getting replayed eventually. But yeah, I mean, it's just everything. I mean, the amount of love and care put into everything. I mean, it's my number 1 for story this year. It's my number 1 for graphics. It's my number 1 for music, of course. I mean, the soundtrack is incredible. I'm looking at my best character, which usually I do 10 characters. I upped it to 15 this year because I didn't want Expedition 33 to dominate everything, but I have like 7 characters here out of my top 15 this year were Expedition 33.
Yeah.
Like, I think I see 5 or 6 performances for best performance. Optional content side quests, like I put Expedition 33 is number 3. Just well, the campfire bonds, man. I think about the campfire bonds all the time. There's so many little things in there, but they're not long, and they all just wow you. Sometimes they're just fun, and they're just really fun, like really enjoyable. Sometimes they're just randomly deep, and you don't even realize the significance. Like, especially like I think about some with Verso, you don't realize some of the significance of some of the conversations he's having until later. Like you kind of think it's an innocuous thing, but actually it's not innocuous. There's a lot going on in that head.
Same with CL. There's a lot of stuff that like you don't really come to learn until later on in the game if you choose to, and it is just like talk about heartbreaking and just like
every campfire bond conclusion, especially Mael's, CL's are both so good. Like, just absolutely blew my mind. Combat, I had it at number 3, like just behind Silksong and Hades 2. Yeah, I mean the turn-based battle system. I mean, it's people try and say, oh, it's just whatever. It's all been done before. It's okay. Like, I've played Mario and Luigi, man. Like, it's done on a little bigger level here, a little more refined. There's a little more depth here. I mean, the build, like, I created this build with Verso where I used the sword where you could attack twice, basic attacks, and I had all these passives with basic attacks, and I was just like, it was every battle I was like just having a blast. Like, man, I love my build so much. I had so much fun with it. So
I'm so glad you brought that up too, because like some people, and if this is really how you feel about it, I'm not like, obviously your opinions are valid. We're talking about subjective things here, not objective facts. But I do think that the critique that things have been done before is kind of a weak one, especially when it comes to anything, any sort of medium. Because, like, James Cameron's Avatar is just Pocahontas with blue cats, but it was still done in a way that made it stand out. You know what I mean? And, like, it's not as if Sandfall Interactive was not trying to get away with anything here. Like, they were very open in saying, like, oh, we love Final Fantasy, we love Persona, we love blah 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 blah. Like, they just wanted to put their own spin on things. When they give their 8,000 acceptance speeches for all these awards and winning, like half of them they're shouting out the creators behind these other series that they were inspired by. Like, they're not hiding it. It's on their sleeve, and they're having fun with it, and they're trying new things with it. And it's not about the ingredients, it's about the presentation. It's about how they decided to combine those things and make it their own. And I think in that regard they knock it out of the park. Because I played Sea of Stars. I have artwork of Sea of Stars on my wall too. You just can't see it. And I know you have things to say about that. Chained Echoes is on my wish list because of you and other people.
Thank you.
Don't worry. But
like, you can praise Sea of Stars again. That's all I want.
Thank you. But like, obviously Sea of Stars is also not the first game to have like active elements mixed in with turn-based elements. Like, that's been around since at least the Super Mario RPG and SNES, maybe even before that. But again, it's like the way that they combine it with their own combat systems, and the way that you're talking about, where you can build these absolutely broken builds with all these characters with the Pictos and the Lumina and all this stuff. Like, it's a lot deeper than, it's as deep as you want it to be, really, because you don't have to play with that if you don't want to. But I just think that knocking it because it's been done before is pretty silly in a medium where everything's kind of been done to some degree already, and everyone's just trying to do their own spin on things that have been done before at this point, because it's been decades. Come on, what brand new ideas are you seeing in video games anymore?
And I mean, we had 6 people vote here. Like, we obviously had some JRPG sickos. And guess what? They put it at number 1. Like, and we have some people that, like, I don't know if Chike is like a JRPG sicko. He obviously had this at number 1. I'm assuming. Like, I love JRPGs, but I'm not someone that jumps into every one. I love this one. I don't know if you're really So it's like, there's a pretty wide array of people here that play different games. Obviously, that still coalesced around this game. Like, I think that means something, and we all obviously play a lot of games, so it's not that we're not playing enough games. So that's all I gotta say. It's a tremendous experience. I loved it. It's up there for me for sure. It's one of my favorite stories of all time for video games for sure. I had it at number 3 for my games of the 2020s, but on a replay, I'm open to changing my mind and raising it, especially if a couple exploration things get cleaned up that annoyed me. Like, I love the expedition journals. The expedition journals, every time I found one, I was overjoyed. They're fun to read, really cool lore. Because obviously every expedition that came in the past, so you can read them all. Not easy to find.
No, they're not.
And I'm not gonna be I'm sorry. I'm done looking at guides while I play. And I'm not. I did that when I played Suikoden 1 and 2 back in the day to recruit all 100 characters. I'm done with that, man. I'm done. I want to play the game. I want to just be immersed in the game. I don't want to have a guide to the side the whole time. So yeah. If they clean up a couple of that, I would really be excited. But man, that was an awesome game.
Yeah, and that's actually what you just said. That is kind of a better way to end my my little mini rant. There was that the way that games can really set themselves apart, aside from just base mechanics, is the story that they're telling. And yes, this story, the way that it's being told, and the things that they're diving into, if you have seen it before, it's usually not in this it's not presented in this way either. So it's just I love it.
I said there's a lot of themes tackled, and I think they're tackled with eloquence and grace. And I've had a lot of interesting conversations this year, not just not one-dimensional conversations, really interesting conversations that can really branch out. I think this game has a unique power to kind of expose things about ourselves as we talk about it, which not every game does. So and people with very different life experience. Like I said, Last of Us, I think a lot of that boils down to what your experience with parenthood is, for example. This one, I said, there's so many different ways, like grief, all the other stuff we talked about. So,
would you go on a mass murder spree for a kid? Yeah, would you?
Yeah, just deep questions. Yeah, no, this one goes some interesting stuff. So, yeah, I'm glad it's number 1. I wondered if Hades 2 would surpass it, but I didn't expect 5 number 1s. I actually thought a couple more people would have Hades above it. So, yeah. Well, that was the list. It was fun. I think next year the list will be better. More guests, but it was fun.
Very fun.
Jordan, CognitiveClips on YouTube, an incredible channel.
Thank you.
Seriously, you do a great job. You don't you come out with your stuff when you feel like it, when you feel like you have the inspiration. But all the stuff's good, I think, because of that. You don't ever force it.
I really appreciated you mentioning me in your article, and I love that you mentioned that as well, where you're like, he doesn't post all the time. And I was like, that if it wasn't you saying that, I could have taken that as a slight, but I knew that it wasn't, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of my whole thing is I've got a full-time, I don't get paid for this, I have a full-time job, I've got 2 kids, you know what I mean? So it's when inspiration strikes, that's when I really hit the ground with it, and I try to be semi-regular with it. Sometimes I'm not, but
Look, sometimes I'm working out, I'm looking for a new Jordan video, and I'm disappointed once in a while. But I understand the process and everything else behind it. Come on, get it together. But yeah, no, I force myself to write twice a week, but it's a weird thing, right? Because there's sometimes I write and I'm putting it out there. It's probably fine, but it's not the best. And then there's times I write, I'm like, yeah, I feel good about this, right? Probably everything you put out, you feel pretty good about. But sometimes by forcing myself to write, I end up in a spot where I'm like, oh, I didn't expect this to turn out the way it did. So yeah, it's a balance, right? But your stuff's always good. That's important. I
appreciate that.
So check out the YouTube page. Any other final comments on 2025? I got to look into it. I got to deep dive on my past ranks and do some other stuff. I feel I think almost anyone that really plays games would say it's one of the best years ever. It's one of the deepest for sure. I don't know if really when I look at my top 5, I'm like, man, these games I gave I don't give out a 9.5 or a 10. I have 2 10s this year. I one every other year is kind of my usual 10 out of 10 thing. I have 2 10s this year, which was Expedition 33 and Hades 2. So I had several 9.5s. It was a deep year, and I had 11 games that I gave at least a 9. Usually it's 10 max. So this was a pretty cool year. And I think, to me, the story of the year was indies. My top 10 had 7 indies in it. Usually it's like 3. So indies carried the day. I think AAA was good this year, but indies are what really made this year special.
That's so true. And like one that didn't make the list for this discussion, like Sword of the Sea, like that was in my top 10. It wasn't like the best experience, but it was still just like so beautifully done though, like with the music and the art, and it's like everywhere you're looking this year is just so much beauty with the art, man. Games are art. And like it's so easy to forget that sometimes when you're just, bashing your head against the wall because of a boss fight, or you're hearing, dumb arguments on the internet about what constitutes a real gamer and what's a fake gamer and all that nonsense. But it's like, no, man, just if you're playing games, you're a gamer, and games are art, so enjoy it.
That's beautifully said. What else? How else can I close that? So, I know how I can close it. Like, subscribe, and share. And please. Thank you. My family needs this. But really, like, give me a lurk it, man. I deserve to be on lurk it, damn it. Like, it seems like I'm on Keymailer. It's all right, but like I feel like lurk it has the good stuff, and I need to get on there. But I gotta up my YouTube game apparently. So yeah. So like, subscribe to Jordan, because I mean, look, what a podcast, man. How would you not want to subscribe to him after this? So thank you, Jordan. That's it for this year for the Big Nerd Gaming Podcast. I want to thank everyone for the support this year. The podcast has done way better than I expected. I greatly appreciate it. The blog's doing significantly better than ever expected. So
yes,
much appreciated for that. Next year, I want to do bigger and better things within the context of my life. It's only so much I can do, but want to keep it going, man. And everyone that watches and listens definitely motivates me a lot, and it's greatly appreciated. So signing off for this year, and we'll see you back next year with, more ranks.
Happy New Year.